Assalamualaikum. Good day. Today in this video, I will be sharing the do's and don'ts of the debate and argumentation. Let me share first the do's and don'ts of the debate. And also, if you want to be a confident and effective debater, it's important to know not just how to speak, but also how to act during a debate. Now let's go through to the things that you should do and the things you should avoid. Debate and argumentation play a significant role in developing our critical thinking skills, communication skills, and ability to present ideas logically. However, to engage in them effectively, we must be aware of the proper guidelines. So in this discussion, I will first explain the do's and don'ts of the debate, and afterwards I will proceed to the do's and don'ts of the argumentation. So let's begin with the do's of the debate. The first one is do your research well. A debate is not just about opinions, it's about facts. The more informed you are, the stronger and more convincing your arguments will be. The second one is do organize your arguments in a clear structure. This will help both judges and audience to follow your point easily. And a messy argument can make you lose even if your content is correct. And then the third one is do listen carefully to the other side. Many debaters today only focus on what they want to say, but listening allows you to respond effectively and counter their argument. And then the fourth one is do speak with confidence and maintain eye contact. Confidence makes people believe in your message, believe in your point on what you're talking about, and show that you know your stand, you know what your point it is. And the fifth one is do respect the time limit. If you waste time on a less important points, you may not get to share your best ones. And then lastly is do stay calm, respectful, and professional. So even if you disagree strongly, politeness makes you look more credible and mature. And that is the do's of the debate. Now let's look to the don'ts. Look at the don'ts of the debate. So the first one is don't interrupt the other speaker. No matter how eager you are to respond, interruption looks rude and unprofessional. The second one is don't make personal attacks. Remember, you are debating ideas, not attacking people. Once you attack the person, you will lose credibility. And then the third one is don't shout or lose your temper. Shouting doesn't prove your point. It only shows that you lost control. And then the fourth one is don't go off topic and add irrelevant information. This only wastes time and confuses your audience. And then fifth one is don't ignore counter arguments. If you skip addressing the other side's points, it will look like you're unprepared. And then finally the last one is don't disrespect the judges, teammates or audience. Respect is one of the foundation of a good debate. So always remember, in a debate is not about who can shout the loudest. It's about who can present ideas in a clear, logical, and respectful way. And that is the do's and don'ts of the debate. Now let's look to the do's and don'ts of the argumentation. So now let's move to the do's and don'ts of the argumentation. Unlike debates that usually happens in competitions, Argumentation is something we can use every day, whether in school, at home, or in a simple discussion with friends. That's why learning how to argue properly is very important. The first dose of the argumentation is do support your claims with facts and evidence. Arguments without proof are weak, but with a solid evidence, people will take you seriously. And then the second one is do explain your points clearly and logically. Even if your idea is correct, if it is not explained well, people may misunderstood you. And then the third one is do acknowledge opposing views. So this shows that you are open-minded and that you consider both sides before standing firm on your position. And then the fourth one is do use example to strengthen your stand. Examples makes abstract ideas easier to understand and more relatable. And then the fifth one is, or the last one is, do remain respectful even in disagreements. Respect makes the discussion healthy and prevents it from turning it into a fight. And that is the dose of the argumentation. Now let's look for the don'ts of argumentation. Now let's go to the don'ts of the argumentation. The first don'ts of the argumentation is don't rely on a emotion. While emotion can make people listen, arguments based only on feelings arguments based only on feelings without facts are weak. And then the second one is don't value or unsupported claims. Don't use value or unsupported claims. Statements with no proof makes your argument unreliable. And then the third one is don't twist facts or spread misinformation. Once people realize that you're misleading them, they will no longer trust anything what you say. And then the fourth one is don't ignore the other side's perspective. Dismissing it makes you look close-minded, while considering it shows maturity. And finally, the last is don't attack the person instead of the idea. This only makes you look disrespectful and show that you don't have a strong enough argument. So always remember, in argumentation, a strong argument is built on evidence, logic, and respect. It's not about being the loudest in the room, but about presenting your ideas clearly and fairly. So that is the do's and don'ts of the debate and argumentation. Thank you for watching.